You know, when you go to the zoo and you walk through, like, the reptile house or the big cat enclosure, there is always that one exhibit that just draws the massive crowd.
Oh, yeah, always.
Right. Like, it is never the harmless tortoises. And it's definitely not the colorful singing birds. You will always find people huddled around the apex predator, like the venomous snake coiled up in the corner, or the tiger pacing back and forth.
Exactly. I mean, we press our faces right up against the glass to get a closer look at a creature that, out in the wild, would completely destroy us.
Yeah.
There's this hypnotic quality to lethal danger, right? Provided, of course, there is a pane of reinforced glass, keeping us safe from the actual teeth and claws.
Which perfectly sets up our mission for you today on this deep dive, because we are looking at that glass between us and danger.
Mm.
Specifically, we are exploring the dark magnetic pull of the villain in art and literature.
It is such a fascinating topic.
It really is. And we have a massive stack of sources to pull from today. Like, we are looking at a 2021 scientific journal analysis of a hidden threat buried inside a Leonardo da Vinci masterpiece.
That one is wild.
Oh, it's incredible. We also have a psychological breakdown of a modern TV anti-hero from the show Money Heist. Plus, an article exploring the science of why we, secretly prefer toxic antagonists. And to top it off, an academic master's thesis unpacking the ultimate playbook of bad guys, which is the villains of William Shakespeare.
It is a really brilliant collection of texts to put into conversation with one another because they all point toward a fundamental truth about human creativity.
Right.
Mastering the villain is really the ultimate test for any great artist or storyteller. Because to create a compelling antagonist, the creator has to basically bypass our moral defenses and force us to confront our own hidden nature.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because as a society, we are actively conditioned to detest the bad guys. Like, from childhood, we are supposed to root for the hero, uphold the law, and completely reject toxicity.
Right, that's the standard script.
Exactly. Yet the villains constantly steal the show. I mean, they dominate the cultural dialogue, they get the most memorable lines, and they just completely captivate our imaginations.
They really do.
So why does that happen? To start answering that, we're going to look at a literal physical threat hidden on a canvas. We are going back to 1490 to the city of Milan.
Ah, yes. The court of Ludovico Sforza, the Duke of Milan.
Right.
So, Leonardo da Vinci was living and working there at the time, and he painted what art historians widely consider his greatest psychological portrait, which is Lady with an Ermine.
Such a famous painting.
Yes. The painting depicts Cecilia Gallerani, who was a brilliant young poet, and she also happened to be Sforza's mistress. Now, for centuries, audiences have admired this portrait of a beautiful young woman gently holding this small, white, kind of weasel-like creature known as an ermine.
Right. It just looks like a nice classic Renaissance portrait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a 2021 researcher named Grigol Keshlava decided to look closer at the negative space. He used a digital image manipulation program called PaintX to isolate and digitally shift 3 specific structural contours that were hidden in the painting's composition.
And the source gets really granular here, which I love. Keshalava took elements marked in blue and green. These were specific, curving brushstrokes located between Cecilia's hand and the arch of the ermine's back.
Right.
And then there was a detail marked in red near the front of the animal's chest. And these weren't just random selections.
No, not at all. He actually followed Da Vinci's own preparatory sketching lines.
Which is mind-blowing. And when he digitally shifted these 3 details to their final intended locations, it reveals a completely hidden image lurking right there in the negative space.
A crossed cobra.
Yeah.
Fully coiled and locked in mortal combat with the ermine.
A literal snake, just hiding in plain sight for over 500 years.
It's incredible. And when you look at the digitally displaced image, the strange anatomy of the painting suddenly makes perfect sense.
Oh, how so?
Well, the ermine is actually holding the invisible cobra's head with its right paw, like pinning it down.
Mm-hmm.
While its left paw is raised in this defensive fighting stance, Da Vinci intentionally painted this ermine to be overly large, heavily muscled, and structurally exaggerated compared to a natural weasel.
So it's not really an ermine at all.
Right. I mean, he didn't just paint an ermine. He painted it to look and behave exactly like a mongoose.
Wow, the ultimate apex predator of the cobra. Because a mongoose will take down a venomous snake almost every single time. So Da Vinci's playing this massive symbolic game here.
He absolutely is. Let's break down the layered symbolism. So Ludovico Sforza, the Duke, was famously known by the nickname L'Ermolino. because the King of Naples had recently awarded him the prestigious Order of the Ermine.
Okay, so the Ermine is him.
Exactly. This muscular, snake-killing mongoose is a direct stand-in for Sforza himself.
Meanwhile, the snake represents the literal dangers of the Milanese court. Our source points out that Cecilia's family was not aristocratic. She was this intellectual who was thrust into the chaotic, totally cutthroat center of political power.
Right. Surrounded by enemies.
Yeah, so Da Vinci is sending a highly coded message to anyone smart enough to see it. He's saying Sforza is the powerful mongoose actively protecting Cecilia from the venomous snakes of the court.
And the mechanical process of how Da Vinci achieved this is even more fascinating.
Oh, with the layers, right?
Yeah. Another researcher, Pascal Cote, used a technique called reflective light technology to scan the painting. They essentially use this multispectral camera that beams intense light across the canvas.
Sounds like sci-fi.
It kind of is. Because longer wavelengths like infrared can pass straight through the top layers of oil paint and bounce off the underlying charcoal sketches. And this technology revealed 3 distinct chronological layers to the painting.
Okay, what were the layers?
Well, Da Vinci started by painting Cecilia with no animal at all.
Just her alone.
Right. Then in the second layer, he painted her holding a small, realistic, gray ermine.
A normal one.
Exactly. But finally, in the third stage, he completely transformed the animal into the large, muscular white beast that we see today.
That is so funny to me. So the progression was literally nothing, then a cute little pet, and finally a ripped bodyguard.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is basically the Renaissance version of a Hollywood director tweaking a CGI monster in post-production. Like, the producer, Sforza, is paying the bills, so Da Vinci beefs up his avatar to flatter him, making him look like a total powerhouse, all while quietly burying the villain, the snake, underneath the final layers of oil.
He buried the danger to protect the patron's ego, sure, but he just couldn't resist leaving the structural threat in the underlying contours.
He had to leave his mark. And that shift from hiding the threat in the background to putting it front and center is exactly